Hello and welcome back. I'm really glad to see you. Today we're going to look at the idea of our world being turned upside down. And this can seem scary and horrible and like everything is against us. And while we're doing this in today's session, we're going to look at inversions, where some people think of headstands and handstands and everything else that we're not going to be doing today. An inversion is when our head is below our heart, that we're bringing that blood flow back into our head, into our heart, that nourishment, that oxygenation. And this can be done in some of the poses we've already done, such as plow or downward dog, even the turtle we were looking at yesterday. And this inner animalistic thing has to deal with this fight or flight response we deal with as animals all the time. And the world is flipped upside down. But actually we're choosing to look at that nourishment of our blood and our oxygen going back to our vital brain and our heart, our vital organs. We're looking at that in the world right now of communities coming together, the environment healing itself. Has given us time for self-care that we have been working on. So today, we're just going to go through that. We're going to breathe and know that we're okay where we are. So, as always, top of the mat, feet hip width apart, facing forward, we're coming back to our little bounce. My hands are swinging forward and back as if I'm skiing down a slope. My shoulders are down with the movement and my head is up strong. I'm allowing my toes to spread on the ground beneath me. I'm feeling grounded and secure. I'm noticing my core shape. I'm feeling strong in my inner being as I allow the arms to get bigger, swinging all the way up to my head and down. I want to get to the top, taking a moment to hold my breath and pause. Really allowing yourself to fall and rebound, knowing we're agile, we're grounded, and we're supported. Going as far as feels comfortable for us. As with our next exhale, we're coming back to reach into the side. Knees and toes still pointed forward. My arms and my hands are coming up wherever feels natural for me today. Because we can listen to our own ability now. I'm seeing the environment I'm in. I'm feeling grounded as it changes side to side. In split seconds, in momentary breaths. My focus is changing, but I'm okay with this. I can look to the negatives and the positives and I can change between them without getting stuck in one. I'm not sitting in worry. I'm able to adjust. Now again, we're facing forward, lifting one arm up and then the other. So we're looking at how we're multitasking. We're not doing random tasks that we don't need. We're looking at one clear goal. I'm able to adjust this self-care, this groundedness, this core that we're still feeling. We're able to do what we need. As we bring these down again to a slow bounce till we're standing. And we're spiraling again, allowing our hands to touch us and wrap around. As we remind ourselves that our self-care is always here, that it always needs to keep happening, that we're always there for ourselves. As my arms come out, I remind myself how I glide, just like birds do in the current of the air. Sometimes birds might have to fight against the wind and go as strong as they can. They will always re-meet moments of gliding. So no matter what we're fighting right now, we will always have moments of gliding. And this is what we're focusing on right now. with the self-care of our touch that's constantly there. As we bring these down again, becoming more and more neutral, as we begin to lift up our feet, shifting our weight up onto our toes, moving from left to right, moving at whatever pace feels right for us. As we lift up our toes, we lift up our heels. We're treading as if we're treading through water. And now as we bring our right heel up, we'll allow our right toe to curl over and come down again. So we do our left, we're coming up, curling, coming back and down. Do this with our right. We're stretching both sides of the feet in the solid movement to come up, over, up, down. It's 4 movements happening separately. Together they make a motion, but separately we feel the stretch and we reap the benefits. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Moving as fast or as slow as feels right for you. Then we're going to make sure we have enough space in front of us. Our feet are hip width apart again. Our hands are grabbing onto our elbows. Inhale, our hands are coming over our head. With an exhale, we're bending our knees and folding down into our ragdoll. Allowing our head to relax over. Keeping our knees and our toes pointing forward. Taking some nice breaths as we come into our first inversion. Knowing at any time if you need to take a break, you can straighten your back, keeping looking at the floor as we stay even. My hands are resting on my thighs just above my knees. And with an exhale, we bring our arms together again to relax our head and curve our back. We're noting the nourishment that the blood is coming towards our head. It's protecting our body. Then exhale, we're straightening out again. Putting my hands on my thighs, engaging my core, looking down at the floor beneath my head. We're knowing that this may be a new sensation, so we give ourselves care as we gradually move in here. One final exhale, melting down again, allowing the head to relax. You can place the hands on the floor, if not on the backs of the ankles. With an exhale, we're straightening our legs, keeping our head down towards the ground. We're finding the balance in the middle of our feet, so we're not too far forward on our toes, too far back on our heels. We're in line with our arch as we bring our head down. Straightening as much as you can. And bending whenever you need some relief. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, coming down. I'm going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Knowing again, if any time you need to come out, we're going to go back to that flat back position. Your third and final exhale, everyone's going to bend their knees. Find the left hand on the floor, allowing that right hand to reach up, arm above the shoulder as if we're waving hello. My knees are still pointing forward. My weight is in the middle as my hand is in between both my feet. With an exhale, I'm bringing that hand down, swapping the right hand in between my feet, bringing the left hand up. So I'm opening up my chest, waving hello at myself as my hand is directly above my left shoulder. With an exhale, I'm coming down. I'm squatting down towards the floor, lifting up from my toes, resting my hands on my legs. Really feeling that core strength again, holding on to something if needed, and challenging ourselves by lifting our toes higher and higher in this balance, wherever works for us, as we're opening up the palms of our feet. My gaze is straight looking ahead. With an exhale, my hands are coming forward, my feet are coming back, so I'm in a plank position. I'm exhaling, bringing those hips down towards the floor, toes engaged, legs straight, lifting up my chest and my head to the ceiling. With an exhale, I'm placing the backs of the feet down and bringing my hips back as I come into child's pose. My forehead is resting on the mat, and I'm allowing my shoulders to relax deeper into the mat, and my hips to relax deeper into my feet. With an exhale, we're coming back to all fours. Straighten our legs again into a plank, keeping our feet and hands where they are and lifting our hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. So my feet and my heels are working towards the floor. My hands are straight where they are. My ears are in line with my elbows. My core is engaged, so I'm not sweeping down. I'm engaged. Here in downward dog, we're ready, we're stretching, we're opening ourselves up to the day. With an exhale, we're bringing our elbows down to the floor, keeping the hands where they are. Our back nice and long, just as it was before. Here we're in dolphin pose. We're bending our knees to make sure that our back is straight, engaging the core. Exhaling, straighten those legs as much as we can, if it works for us today. From this position, we're bringing our knees down. We're coming again into child's pose as we bring our hips back. As we find our horizontal state. We're not coming from being down to being up, but we're moving from down to flat. So feel how flat your body is right now. How everything is all tucked up in one line. Protecting the core, opening up the back, where our shell and our hump was yesterday. All our essentials to get us through what we need is with us, as we remind ourselves as we're in child's pose. My fingers are stretched out, feeding information to and from the environment. Thinking of some positivity we're going to send out today, whether this is for friends, a loved one, or the world. And as we think this thought of positivity, we send it out to our fingertips as we allow them to expand evermore. And then as we focus on the connection of the palms on the floor, we're accepting in positivity from the world. We're allowing it to fuel our core. As with an exhale, we come forward again. We place the top of our head on the floor and our hands come behind our head. I curl my toes and with an exhale, I lift my hips up to the ceiling. I'm sharing the weight across my arms and not on my head. So my head is actually hovering, but my arms are taking the strength. And I'm bending the knees if this fits. With the next exhale, coming down again into child's pose, engaging with our fingers as we send out a positive thought. And engaging our palms as we accept a positive thought. Again, we're going to come back again, top of the head on the mat. The hands holding behind the head. Toes curled under as we lift the hips to the ceiling, sharing the weight across the hands. My core is still actively engaged. I'm feeling it lifting into the spine as I begin by lifting and lowering my feet. My core and my back, my arms, my head are staying strong. After the exhale, I bring my knees down, hips to legs as I come back into child's pose. Engaging the fingers as I send out a positive thought. And engaging the palms of the hands as I accept something in. And for the third and final time, we're placing the top of the head on the mat again. Hands behind our head. Weight is distributed across the arms, not the head. I curl my toes and I lift my hips up to the ceiling. And bending my knees. Straightening my back, engaging my core. As I lift up one foot and then the other. Again, if you want to do the variation before, that is completely okay. I'm working at bringing my foot up to my body, keeping the length in the back, the weight across the hands, the arms. So with an exhale, come back into child's pose again, bringing the knees down and then the hips to the feet. As I engage with my fingers, I send out a thought to the world. And as I engage the palms, I accept one. The next exhale, coming again to all fours. As we come back to our cat variation, with an inhale, engaging our head and our tail as we lift up. Exhale, our head and tail come to meet underneath us. As we do this with our own breath, noticing the waves and the mountains within us. My hands and my legs are remaining stable. They're remaining lifted as I feel them actively pushing against the floor, as I feel the stretch in the shoulder socket. I'm allowing my head to move from lifted to horizontal to lower. And I'm pausing at every step in the journey briefly to remind myself I'm lifted, I'm horizontal, and I'm inverted. Doing this with our own breath as you take a pause between every inhale and exhale to allow for this momentary pause. So for every breath, there is almost 2 inhales and 2 exhales. As you note the space that your head is in, whether it is inverted, horizontal, or to the sky. Do 2 more of these in our own time. Returning back to that horizontal plane, looking directly in between your hands. So you now shift all of your weight towards your left hand side, your left hand and your left knee. So you straighten out that right foot nice and straight like we do in our warrior 2, with the foot pointing towards 3 o'clock. And the right hand is coming above. Shoulders as if there's a brick wall. Allowing the hands to move towards 12. As we're feeling open in our spine, with an exhale we bring the hand back down and come back to all fours. Same again on the other side with an inhale. We're putting all the weight to our right hand side, straightening the left. Bring the arm up to 12. With an exhale, we're bringing it back down and onto all fours. Inhale, shifting the weight, bringing my arm and my leg out. Exhale, circling back down onto all fours. Same again, shifting the weight to the right hand side, straightening that back foot as I feel the stretch in the side of my body. Do a few more of these in my own breath. So I'm reminding myself to come back to this horizontal position. I'm opening up to the world. I'm taking my core strength, my inner animal, my inner protection, my inner wild and tame. I'm able to move and flow after the world has gone upside down. I'm able to find my way back to my horizontal. Still lift up and below as I notice my gaze looks at all three planes, as I look to the ceiling, to the side and to the floor. Do 2 more of these on each side within your own breath. So you notice the opening of the back on the journey back to all fours. The length in the leg as it straightens. The twist in the body and the ease of the movement. And when you're done, come to meeting child's pose. Head resting on the mat. Engaging both our fingers and our palms as we are subconsciously sending out and receiving good thoughts. Noticing your natural breath as you allow your body to relax here. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the back, the hips, the ankles, the wrists, the feet, and the hands. And with an exhale, we roll up from the spine, starting from the bottom, with the head being the last thing. As we wrap ourselves up again in a hug, give ourselves a big squeeze. Change the other way and give ourselves another big squeeze. As you thank yourself today for doing your yoga practice, being agile enough to move through it all. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.